Hi everyone, I'm here today to do a tag I found. It's called the 20 questions about music tag, and I've got my quick list on my computer at the side of me here, so if I'm not looking at the camera I'm reading questions. So let's just crack straight into it. The first question is, which band or artist do you have the most albums by? And it was actually a tie for me with Nightwish and Within Temptation. I pretty much have everything by either one of them. And they've both been going for quite a while, so they've got quite a lot of albums to choose from. So yeah, I think it's 9 I've got for both. Number 2 is, what is the last song you listened to? And it was actually In the Middle of the Night, the live version from the Hydra Elements DVD album live. So yeah, by Within Temptation. Next is, what is in your CD player right now? Nothing is actually in it right now, because usually when I'm done with a CD it goes straight back, and that's it. I don't like to just leave CDs in there, but the last CD that was in there was the Quantum Enigma by Epica. I was actually listening to it whilst I was doing some cleaning around the flat. Next question is, what was the last show you attended? And that was actually the Northern Symphony Festival that I went to see my friend perform her first ever festival gig, and that was the Clockwork Opera. That's who I went to see. The next question is, what is the greatest show you've ever been to? And I had a hard time choosing between the last time I saw Evanescence, because that show was amazing. The last time I saw Epica, because I can't remember a time I've windmilled so much in my life. And the second time I saw Lacuna Coil, because they ended up doing like all my favourite songs in one show. It's like they knew I was there. So yeah, it was a hard decision, but yeah. Very decisive, I know. The next question is, what is the worst show you've ever been to? And it's nothing against the band, but when I was at college, a girl I used to hang around with as a birthday present bought me a ticket to see Elliot Minor, thinking that I'd be like really into him. And I knew like one song because she'd played me it beforehand, Jessica. And yeah. So it's not that they were bad, I was entertained, but I just didn't really care, didn't really know. I would have said, when I went to Northern Symphony, I would have said about the band that I walked out on, but I'm not counting them as an actual show because I didn't go to see them and I didn't see more than half a song, so they don't count. Next is, what is the most musically involved you've ever been? And really it's just that I did singing throughout school. I was in the choir when I was in primary/junior school, and then when I went to secondary I did a little bit of choir, only for like year 7, and I did some musicals. I was in Bugsy Malone, and we were supposed to do Sound of Music, but then that got cancelled, and I actually performed Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid in a school concert. That's as much as I've really done. I haven't really done anything else outside of that. Next is, what show are you most looking forward to? And obviously, I'm going to see Epica for the third time, my favourite band, Elephant of Death, but I'm going to see Nightwish for the first time ever in Wembley Arena in London. It's going to be a massive show, and I can't wait. It's going to be the best thing. I'm with my 2 oldest, nearest and dearest friends. There's nothing to complain about the entire thing, apart from probably the cost and the time of me getting to London, seeing as when we looked up tickets just for a month in advance, because you can't actually book the tickets yet, so we did it in the same dates in November, and it was £115, and I can't afford that, so probably going to end up going by Megabus. Next one is, what is your favourite band t-shirt? And I decided to wear it today just so you can see it, which is this beautiful Epica retrospect shirt with the like bones on it and big massive E. It's got a skeleton lady, and this was actually bought for me by one of my really close friends, Sophie, someone who I'm going to see next with, and I went to see Epica with last year, and so it means a lot to me, just because, not because it's Epica and because it's retrospect, but because someone who has been my friend ever since I have lived over where I'm living, because I used to live in these as a child, yeah, so she's like one of my nearest and dearest friends and oldest friends. Next is, what musician would you like to hang out with for a day? I think we all know the answer on this channel. If you are subscribed, Simone Simmons or Amy Lee. I would probably go Amy Lee a bit more, because while me and Simone could probably have some good style conversations, I feel like me and Amy would actually have more to get along with. Like, she seems like quite a fun, silly person. Like, I feel like we could just have a laugh together, and I'd probably cry my eyes out about how much she's got me through a lot of stuff throughout my life. So Amy's probably the top runner there, but Simone, you are very close second. And next is, which is the one musician or group you wish to make a comeback? And they are making a comeback, so it's okay. That's Evanescence. I want them, I'm not going to say it's a proper comeback because I don't know just yet, but I want them to come back to the UK, do a full tour. I want them to do another album, and I just need to have that fix again in my life. So I don't know, I need them to release more t-shirts so that I can add to my ridiculous collection of Evanescence t-shirts. And yeah, I just need some more Ev, because who doesn't? Which is one band or artist you've never seen live but have always wanted to? And I've picked Tarja Turunen for this. I wish so much I'd seen Nightwish with her, so much. That's like the one thing that I know I'm never going to get in my life, but I really want. So maybe I could go see her solo career. I mean, I have her albums, so it's not like I don't enjoy it. I just wish that I'd seen her with Nightwish. Next is, name 4 or more flawless albums. Now, I've just gone for straight 4, and that is because I just wanted to go for the 4 albums that have kind of influenced me throughout my life. So I guess I've got 5 then, if that's the case, because I'd have to have Spice Girls. That was the first album I can ever remember getting. Like, that was the album that started my obsession with music. Then I'm gonna go with Invincible by 5. Yeah, I know, right? But it kind of, the fact that I liked 5 so much, it's kind of like, this is why you liked rock music, because they sample a lot of rock songs in their music. So yeah, and 5 were just amazing. No one can say a bad word about 5. Then I'm gonna go to Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. This was probably the first like rock metal album that I was really obsessed with. Just that album is just my childhood. Like, that is just a beautiful album. Next, I'm gonna go with Karma Code by Lacuna Coil. This is an album that I was just obsessed with when I was like 16, and it was when I was really looking into female fronted metal and really like exploring the entire genre. That album just inspired me so much. And then lastly, I'm going to go with Evanescence by Evanescence, because it is an album that got me through the hardest time of my life, but every song is powerful, every song is so beautiful. The best lyrics that Amy has ever done are in that album, and the lyrics are what speak to me so much, so that album is something I really appreciate, and it's just, that is the flawless album, if you ask me. Next is, how many music related videos or DVDs do you own? And I own 17, apparently. I counted them all and I couldn't actually believe I owned so much. I am including my 5 video from back in the day in there as well. So it's not just like rock metal that I have, I do have some pop stuff in there. Next is, how many concerts have you been to in total? Now, I've put 28, but it is actually a lot more, because my sister was in a band and I went to see her loads of times. I can't remember how many times, and I've probably seen the punk band, the UK Subs, a lot more times than I realised when I was younger. So I've put 28 because they were the ones I could definitely remember. Like, they were ones that I had to have a ticket to get into and go see. And I've been to a lot of local bands where like I've just walked into a pub and then a band started playing and I'm like, oh, I guess we're at a gig. So I'm not really counting that either. And I used to hang around with a guy who was in lots of bands and he dragged me along with him to a lot of his concerts, so I'm not counting that either. So yeah, I've been to see a lot of live bands that I don't even know who they were. Yeah, next is, who have you seen the most live? And it's a tie again between Evanescence and Lacuna Coil on 3. I've seen them both 3 times. If Evanescence come back, they will officially take the title for the band I've seen the most times, because I don't think I'm going to be seeing Lacuna Coil again anytime soon, just because I've seen them at their peak and I don't think I can bring myself to go see them with the way that their music is now. It's just not, it's not the level that I enjoyed anymore, so I'm not really that keen. I mean, I could probably go see them again and enjoy the classics. I did that with Korn, but I'm just not that interested in doing so. Next is, what is your favourite movie soundtrack? Now, I've got 3 options for this. Instrumentally, like, I say instrumentally, there's like little chorusy bits in it, the chorally bits in it even, is the Edward Scissorhands soundtrack. It's beautiful. The music, like the snow dance music, and you know, like when Edward's cutting up sculpture, the music like that, beautiful. And you know, the Tom Jones is kind of funny that's in there too. But for actual songs, I've gone for 2, and Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney movie, gorgeous soundtrack. It's got some, you know, really heart-filled songs in there, and I adore it. And then one film that I've gone for, just because the soundtrack is hilarious and I pretty much know it all off by heart, is The Muppets Treasure Island. The songs in that are just fantastic. Next we have, what was your last musical phase before you wisened up? Which is a bit harsh, but I guess it's kind of true with me, because I went through a bit of a phase of liking Blink-182. Like, they were like, I was quite obsessed with them for a little while. Maybe not, yeah, I guess obsessed is the word. And now I'm not really a fan. I'm like, oh, but I think it's because they're one of those bands that everyone was obsessed with at one point, and now it's like they've been so shoved in my face that I'm like, oh. Like some of those live DVDs that were in the thing with Blink. Yeah, I can't really stand them anymore. Like, if they come out, or if they like start playing when I'm on a night out, I'm just like, sorry. Number 20, the final question is, what's your guilty pleasure you hate to admit to liking? But I don't hate to admit that I like anything, but I've always said that I guess my guilty pleasure is one album in particular, and that is Pink Friday by Nicki Minaj. What, Vicky, you've just been talking about all this metal? You're like, yeah, I know. I don't know what it's about that album. It just really stood out to me, and I just really enjoyed it. I like angry Nicki Minaj, and I think it reminds me of a friend as well. He really got me into that album, and yeah, it's my guilty pleasure, I guess. I would have said all the 90s cheese, but I don't think it's really a guilty pleasure. I think I'm quite, like, out there with it. I don't think anyone's surprised when I say that I love Five, you know. I've said it in enough videos. I've worn their t-shirt, for Christ's sake. I've been to see them. Like, I'm not ashamed to go see Five and be obsessed with them. That's fine. So yeah, that was the 20 questions about music tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope it gave you a little bit more of an insight into my musical tastes. And thanks for watching. See you later.